Hello, we are 3.1A6A, and today we will read you a story that we wrote ourselves. This story is about Jimmy and his family who had to leave their country to move to another one. This story will tell you the challenges he had to face and how he overcame them. This story will cover SDG goals number 4, quality education, number 8, decent work and economic growth, number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the story.
Jimmy is a citizen of Hong Kong who faced challenges in his home city due to his advocacy for democratic values. He spent many days protesting on the streets to defend his rights. The outcome, however, did not play in his favor and he had to leave. This page talks about the freedom movement that took place in Hong Kong a couple of years ago. Many of the people fought for real democracy, but unfortunately, democracy had not prevailed. Many of the people who fought for it had to leave the city and go to another places like England or Taiwan.
Seeking a better future for his family, he decided to move to Taiwan. Taiwan is a place known for its strong institution and commitment to freedom of speech. The family chose Taiwan because Taiwan is a democracy and possesses strong institutions that will keep the family safe and happy. Jimmy and his family will not go to jail for speaking their minds. Also, Taiwan is close to Hong Kong and the culture is somewhat similar, so it won't be so much of a big change.
In Taiwan, Jimmy enrolled his children in local schools. It was difficult for the children at first because the children didn't speak Mandarin very well. They spoke Cantonese at home. The reason why it's difficult for the children is that in Hong Kong, people speak Cantonese. However, they use the traditional Chinese characters, just like in Taiwan. In addition, the Taiwanese education system is excellent, so it helps the children adapt faster.
However, because they learned traditional characters in their previous school, the children were able to adapt very quickly. They also made a lot of friends. Thanks to the Chinese educational system, the children were able to make friends and learn like other Chinese students. This makes them be integrated into society. Thanks to this, if they stay in Taiwan, they will have the same chances as other young people that's native to Taiwan.
Jimmy also found a job in a processed food factory for a famous company in New Taipei City, where he found an apartment for his family. Taiwan has a very low unemployment rate. This means the country needs a lot of workers. Unfortunately, a lot of work available aren't paying well. That's why Jimmy can't afford a house in Taipei City because it's expensive there.
Jimmy had to work for long hours, and he had little time to see his children. This made him sad. He was starting to wonder if he had made the right decision to leave his country. Taiwan's working hours can be quite long, especially if workers need to work extra hours to pay for their family needs. As a result, many parents spend too little time with their children, just like Jimmy in the story.
Jimmy eventually had an opportunity to move to Singapore. The family was excited, but they had started to adapt to Taiwan. They didn't want to go through the process of moving and learning another culture again. Many foreigners leave Taiwan after some time for various reasons. Sometimes it's because they cannot adapt Taiwan's culture. Sometimes it's because they can satisfy their job. That is why Jimmy was interested in finding a job in Singapore. But moving again means starting again. Is that always worth it?
In addition, the family's financial situation wasn't entirely stable. Jimmy's wife had trouble adapting to her new life. She missed her family and friends. To make things worse, she could only find low-paying jobs. Soon, the family started having trouble paying for their rent. because of Taiwan's high housing prices. This page shows that there are unfortunately still some differences between men and women when it comes to employment. Women are more likely to take low-paying jobs that require low qualifications. Also, very often, the combined salaries of both parents are barely enough to cover the household's monthly expenditures. This shows that Taiwan's salaries are not high enough for the local cost of living.
In the end, Jimmy and his family really appreciated everything Taiwan had to offer. He could freely express his ideas and participate in peaceful demonstrations. Inspired by this, Jimmy and his family really often decided to contribute to their community by raising awareness in Taipei's busiest areas about the importance of peace and justice. This page shows that despite the difficulties, Taiwan is still the best place for a family. Maybe they had to leave their country, but they can live in a free environment, which life is not so easy. But at least they will be protected by strong institutions. Thanks to this, Jimmy can now also share his experiences during free time and raise more awareness of the importance of freedom.
This made Jimmy and his family think that Taiwan was just right, and so they stay here happily ever after.
We hope you enjoyed the story and that you learned something. We should be glad to live in a country that has strong institutions and let us live freely. So don't take it for granted and enjoy it as much as you can. Thank you for listening and we'll see you next year.